morning everyone, and welcome to a brand new studio vlog. I am coming to you from the car today because I have a busy couple of days on the road. It's going to be a bit of a manic week, to be honest, and so just to add to my to-do list, I thought I'd bring you along so you can see what a hectic week in the life looks like. So last week, if you watched my video, you will have seen it was all about getting my stickers manufactured, but the week before I was sharing all the preparation process of getting my products ready for 2 new stockists. I took my stock over to Design 44 in Derby, and there was a bit of a problem with the display stand. So today, first on my agenda is go to my lovely mum's house, pick up a new display stand, go to my acupuncture appointment for an hour, and then drive over to Derby to replace the stand. So without further ado, I need to get moving. So acupuncture is done. I have been having acupuncture for headaches I've had 4 sessions now because of chronic headaches and migraines, and they have been getting better actually. I have been on medication as well, so I don't know if it's the combination, but I definitely have had a reduction in the number of headaches, and I haven't had a migraine in the last week, so touch wood, that carries on. But now it's time to go over to Derby. I've got to nip to the petrol station because when I got in the car this morning, I found out my husband left it on the fuel light. He said he didn't have his card with him and he forgot to tell me. So I'm going to go and get some fuel and then we'll head over to Derby. So when I arrived in Derby, I was raring to go and there was an incident. So I opened the boot of the car to get the display stand out, and I found that one of the legs on the back had completely come unstuck. And when I watch the footage back, you can see the moment this happens when it's being put in the car. I think it gets caught on the blanket, and we made this stand in a bit of a rush, and it didn't have as much drying time as we usually leave it. And so I think there's a lesson learned, but it was my fault things were in a rush. So there I was in Derby, and I actually had the glue with me. So all I could think to do was glue the leg back on, leave it for a couple of hours, and come back to the car and see if it was dry enough to go and put up in the store. So I went and grabbed a coffee, grabbed something to eat. I only had my phone with me, and so I managed to get some work done on my phone. I wrote a big post to my patrons explaining why I'm going to be changing the name of Plan, Inspire, Create, which is something I'll talk more about in next week's video, but my patrons are always the first to know what's happening behind the scenes, so I took the time to write out a big post all about my reasons behind the name change and what the new name will be, which is Sunshine Lane. And I then took the opportunity to get another few Patreon tasks done, get some posts scheduled. I scheduled a poll asking my patrons to vote for what topic they'd like to see in this month's video chat, and whilst it was much slower doing things on my phone, I was able to use the time to at least get some work done. So I'm walking back to the car. I managed to get a surprising amount of work done on my phone, and it's been about an hour and 3/4. So I'm praying to the glue gods, please wish me luck that this is actually sorted. I almost don't look. I think we're good if we're careful. Let's go. We're going down. We are going to get to Design 44 with the stand intact. So I moved the old display stand, cleared the display ready for the new one, and then as I was putting the new one up and folding the leg out, and it slots into a foot on the bottom to stop it moving, I didn't angle it properly on the foot, and the foot pushed the leg up, and because it wasn't 100% dry, it came off again. However, the lovely staff in the shop had some different glue, and I glued it once it was in position, and it was able to just dry in that position, and I could finally get on with the rest of my day. And here's how the finished display ended up looking. I'm back in the car. I've actually got a bit of a shake on, probably partial caffeine, partial anxiety. I need to get a wriggle on because it's going to take me about maybe an hour and a quarter to get home It's 2:05 now and I'm out of breath. I've got a package I need to send out on next day delivery and it's not even in the box yet. So I need to get home, pack that and go back out to the post office. So without further ado, let's drive. When I got back, I knew that I had the box of things that needed sending that day. However, I also needed to attach the legs onto the display stand that I brought back with me, ready to take to the bull ring in the morning. Now, we've learned from doing things at last minute, but needs must, and I just had to get it done quickly. Then I grabbed a box and started packing up all the things that are being sent off to Curated Makers. I'm going to be in my first pop-up with them that has just opened in London Bridge Station. So if you're nearby, maybe go and check it out. I can't wait to go and have a look myself when I'm in London next month. And part of the fun is trying to figure out how you can fit everything in the boxes and also make sure things don't move around and get damaged. So I had one big box with all my notepads in and my washi tapes, and then I grabbed another box which had my pins in there. Lots of enamel pins have gone off to Curated Makers and my key rings. And then it was a mad dash to the post office. I am stressed up to high heaven. I've got the boxes in the boot and I've just got to the post office and I'm in a queue of traffic to park up. I'm really hoping it's 4:30 and I've got 20 minutes to get in there and hand these packages over, otherwise I am in big trouble. I am back and I cannot even begin to tell you how tired I am. It's about 4:45. Let me show you the state of the floor. So we've got clamps on these hinges. They are in the first stage of setting. Then there's still mess there. There's all this mess on the floor where I was trying to find a box and packaging materials to box up the Curated Maker stuff. There's more boxes here. There's more boxes on this chair. There's empty plastic boxes. There's a Kit Kat wrapper. This is just as a mess. There's no clean surfaces. But with that said, I have made myself a big drink. I had a look in the shop for a cold drink, but they didn't have any that I liked. They were all like super sugary or caffeinated, and I just thought at 10 to 5 that's not a good idea. So I'm going to do a sit down job. I've still got so much work left to do. This is not reflective of a normal week. Like I said, it is a particularly crazy week, and when you have those weeks, it feels like they're the weeks that always go wrong, which is really frustrating. Obviously, I thought I'd be back and like doing this work now by like 3. I did manage to get a decent amount done in Starbucks, but what I've still got to do today is get all the stock ready. Oh, of course I need a wee now. There's no toilet in here. What I still need to do today is fill in the paperwork for Curated Makers for this dispatch, which I'm going to do first because I can just sit down, have my drink, like calm down a bit while I'm chatting to you. So that's the plan, and then I need to get all my stuff ready to take over to Trentham and the bull ring tomorrow. So let me tell you how everything went while I multitasked. So I jumped in the car. My mum's partner had turned up to give me some clamps to help me secure the hinges, and like it couldn't have been worse timing. I felt really rude because I was like flying out the door to the post office. I got to the post office car park at like 4:10, which you will have seen, and there was a massive queue to even get in the car park. So, and then cars were cutting round the queue of cars and just like jumping in spaces, and I was getting some real road rage, but I wasn't even at the front of the queue, like I was so far back. And then I finally got a space, got my boxes on my little trolley, wheel it in, and there's a huge queue for the post office counter, and I'm like, come on. I think it's 4:30 is like the cut-off for dropping it off. 25 past, they scanned in my packages, and I was like, these are already paid for, is there anything I need to do? And they were like, oh no, we'll just scan them in because then they're on the system. In all the panic, I forgot to write box 1 of 2 and 2 of 2 on them, so I hope that's not a problem. But honestly, I've stood in the queue and I could have cried. I was like, please. I considered asking the people in front if I could just go ahead, but then they were all trying to rush to get stuff done as well. It's just the worst time of day to go down to the post office. So it was done, and then I had to go to another shop to drop off a parcel that was going with UPS, which was a wholesale order. And if you use Fair, they like you to use their couriers, and if you don't and there's a problem, they're not that supportive if you haven't used their couriers. Otherwise, they will really try and help you out, and they'll cover costs of things, and they'll refund the shipping, stuff like that. So I thought, oh, I better use UPS then. So I had to go to 2 places. That one wasn't as urgent, but I thought, while I'm out and it's in the car, let's just go. So I did that and came back here. My husband's in meetings till 7 o'clock. So I'm planning to spend the next couple of hours just working. So I've got a spreadsheet here where I'm just filling in how much of each item I've sent, and then when they get the package, it triggers that I'm sending them the stuff, like when it's going to arrive, and then they will count everything their end and let you know of any discrepancies. So I'd made a note of how many of each I have sent, and so I'm just filling in the spreadsheet. So I'm going to do that now. It's not much for you to see, but I'll be back. As it was a Tuesday and my YouTube videos go live on a Tuesday, I spent some time promoting that and setting reels to go live and things like that. And then I got back to preparing stock ready to take over to the other 2 Design 44 stores that I'm stocked in the Bullring and Trentham, which I was going to be doing the next morning. So first thing I did was put together some mini desk calendars. I had the calendar cards printed this time on this lovely cardstock, but they all came with the individual months separately and they weren't collated. So I just went through putting them out on the desk so I could get piles of 12 months together. And then once I had those, I moved on to putting them on their little easels and tying them up with the little labels and twine. Then I spent some time putting some more pocket hearts on their backing cards and putting key rings on their new backing cards, which is a new way that I'm packaging key rings. And so I spent some time doing that. Happy Wednesday, everyone. I think it's Wednesday. We were in here last night until 9:10. It ended up being such a longer day than I anticipated, with the things that kind of went wrong yesterday. But I knew I was going to work late yesterday, and I didn't mind that because this afternoon I'm meeting my dad for a coffee. Tomorrow afternoon I'm meeting my friend for lunch. So I'm going to be taking some personal time out. Friday, I'm getting my nails done. So I don't mind the give and take of that because it helps me do things that I would otherwise have to say no to because I'm working. But 9:10 was ridiculous. I did have dinner in there, and I sat down and had a little break and had dinner and then came back. And this, I will show you, is everything we got done. So although you can't see exactly what's inside all these bags, you can see that this is for Birmingham. This is for Trentham. So yeah, in the interest of being the least disruptive, I've taken the key rings I've got here and put them on the backing cards that aren't enough for the amount I want to leave in the shop. So then I've just put all of them that I've got on Birmingham's pile and then some spares, and then I'll quickly package up the remaining key rings there to leave as many as I want to leave, bring the rest out, and then I'll do those in the car so they're all ready to take into Trentham without being disruptive. So yeah, lots to do. I need to box up these stock bits for each shop, and I need to box up the display items for each shop. Now Birmingham, I know exactly what I'm going to do because I'm going to make it exactly the same as Derby because it's pretty much the same table space. Trentham, I'm going to have to take some bits and just have a play there because I've got a ladder shelf there. It's a bit more awkward to do a setup here, so I'm going to take some extra bits, use what I've got there, just tweak it on the spot, and away we go. So it's 8:25. I want to be on the road by 9. I kind of wanted to leave it to that time so that I wasn't just getting stuck in traffic unnecessarily, so let's go. We're loaded up and it's 9:05, which I think is not bad. got to the bull ring, headed up to Design 44 and changed over my displays, updating everything with the new displays and my brand new stickers, and this is how the display turned out. So I went straight back to the car and it was time to head over to Trentham to refresh my display over there and drop off my new stickers there. So it took me about 50 minutes to get from Birmingham to Trentham. It was a very rainy day, not the best for driving, but I headed over there and I got there just in time to meet my dad for lunch. We had a lovely coffee and we chatted for a few hours, and then I headed into Design 44 in the shopping village to refresh my display, and this is how it turned out when it was almost finished. I had a couple of items left to pop on the display. So I'm back in the car looking a bit bedraggled. It is a very rainy day, but I'm happy to announce I'm set up in all three shops. All three shops have had new displays up, the new stickers are out. I've brought back so many individual stickers and sticker sheets. So the good news is that this weekend I'm gonna put on a big sticker sale. I had a lovely long lunch with my dad. That was nice. It was like 2.75 hours. Haven't seen him for a few months. That was really lovely. Had a good natter, and then yeah, set up at Trentham. So happy with my progress. A little bit out of breath. Probably get home about 4:30, I think. So let's see how we get on. Hello. It's 4:30. I basically went in the front door and out the back door. I got Maggie and we're heading on a little walk. I knew that if I sat down, I wouldn't get back up again. So I thought I'll walk her now. And then I was going to do more work when I got back, but I thought I'd be back earlier. So I feel really tired. I was feeling a bit sick on the way back. I think I'm just really tired and I struggled. It was a lot of concentrating on windy roads in the rain, loads of spray. So I'm going to walk Maggie, get a bit of fresh air, then get under a blanket, finish off an announcement for my patrons, and then call it a day. If I do anything, I might do some drawing later, but if not, I'll see you in the morning. The next morning I brought everything in from the night before, and I knew that I wouldn't be able to get anything done if I didn't tackle the mess that was my office. So I cleared up all the rubbish on the floor, sorted it out in terms of things that can be reused, things that can be recycled and so on, and then I unpacked all the bags of everything I brought back and started separating it into piles of what was products and display items for my products. Then I took a little break from that to get that announcement about changing my name posted out to my patrons. Then I had a Zoom call for an hour, which was some group coaching around wholesale that I've been taking part in. And then I decided to finish off one of my illustrations for my wall calendar. Then it was back to the tidying and sorting. So I found homes for all of the display items that I'm not currently using that I brought back with me. And then I started emptying out all these little bags and bits and bobs that I brought back with me from the various shops. There's some products that I decided to take off display, the old formats of stickers and things. And so I separated them out and made homes for them. And then with all the old format stickers that I've collected back from the shops, I went through and separated out each type of sticker because I was planning to put this in a big sticker sale. So these are all the ones that came back from the various shops. And then I grabbed my sticker box where I store all my stickers for sale, and I went through and I added to those piles, making sure all the like designs were together so that I could go through and count how many of each I had ready for the sale. So I have just sorted out all of these stickers. These are all old format stickers that have got to go. And I would love to know from you, what would you like me to do? Would you like me to put them on sale individually? Would you like me to do an offer where you get so many stickers for a certain amount and you can kind of build your own little bundles? Or would you like me to do some mystery bags or a combination? So I'm going to leave a little poll for you, and please let me know what you'd prefer and I will get on it. Next up, it was setting up my new tabletop heater because it is getting very cold in the studio already. And then I spent some time writing some feedback for a graphic designer that I've been working with on my new branding. I had asked for some variations of a sunshine icon that she'd made me, and so I was giving feedback on the version she'd given me as well as some other things she'd suggested. And then that way she could take the feedback and do a final iteration of how things would look. Hello, it's Friday. I don't know if it's a happy Friday day today. There's nothing wrong with it. The week's caught up to me. I'm really tired, really groggy, and I've got a lot of pain and my sciatica's playing up. There we go, the heater's stopped causing a ruckus. Yeah, my sciatica's playing up. I had to go out to get my nails done this morning, which, look at how cute the little foxes and the little flowers are. But yeah, I'm tired. Today needs to be a drawing day. I've done a little bit of admin since I came back, as is always the way, done my emails, etc. Had a customer missing a refund, just bits and bobs. And now it needs to be a drawing day because I am happy to say that I've got 8 of 12 calendar pages done. I want to share that again today on Instagram, share where I'm up to. I've had people replying to the question that I put on Instagram yesterday about the sticker sale. And the one that's coming out on top so far is that people would like an offer where it's like so many stickers for a £5 or something like that, so you can build your own bundles. But I'm gonna leave that up, and I'm gonna leave that as a job to put that live next week, because I know what I'm like. My brain is telling me, oh yeah, get this sale on, and then there's money coming in and blah blah blah. However, I need to finish the calendar this weekend. It needs to go off to the manufacturers on Monday, no later. So I've got 8 out of 12 done. Sunday, I've got a live stream with my patrons where I'm planning to design the front and back cover, which is obviously extra pages. And I would like to get 3 done today and 1 done tomorrow, and then that would be the calendar done. So that's my plan. 2 of the remaining 4 illustrations, I want to rework some illustrations that I previously did for Patreon boxes last year, very early last year, so like 18 months ago, and the other one was maybe even earlier than that, that have been some of my favourite illustrations, but the only people who ever saw them were the handful of people who had the Patreon box and got the print, and they were exclusive at the time. But I don't do my goodie boxes here anymore. It's been a really long time since I released those prints, and I'd really love to rework them and update them and let them see the light of day again, because I really loved them. So this is one with a hummingbird and all these roses, and it says stop and smell the roses. But I also did a bookmark. These were 2 sides of a bookmark with the roses and the hummingbirds hovering. And one side said, like a hummingbird, aspire to hover and savour each moment as it passes, embrace all that life has to offer and celebrate the joy of every day. And then the other side said, legends say that hummingbirds float free of time, carrying our hopes for love, joy and celebration. I think they're both really pretty quotes, and yeah, I would love to bring a kind of hummingbird and roses to this calendar, although I've not been using the colour red. That's fine, I can do pink roses, purple roses, I could maybe do a combo, white roses, yellow roses. Yeah, do a combo. So that's the plan. And then the other one is this kintsugi print, which was popular at the time. So kintsugi is a Japanese concept where they repair broken pottery and ceramics with gold, and the belief is that it becomes more beautiful for having been broken, and those joins in the gold make it a more beautiful and unique piece than it was before. And oh, that makes me a bit tingly. Yeah, that's something that I think is very true of people, and you know, the things we've been through in our lives, they've shaped who we are and our own unique story. So I'd love to again bring that to the calendar, because they were 2, I think, really beautiful concepts that have kind of just drifted off into the abyss and nobody sees. So yeah, I'd love to bring those back. So I'm going to focus on those two first, because I know when I'm on a roll, I find it easier to create once I'm in the zone, but because I'm really tired, I'm finding it hard to get started. And then my last two ideas are, I want to do a desk flat lay with like notebooks, stationery pens, pencils, iPad, like multiple stuff, and then put a quote in a notebook or an iPad. And so that'd be a different kind of illustration. And then the last one I want to do is probably going to be teapots and teacups, really pretty, like a don't forget to fill your own cup. And then that will be 12. I finished one last night when I went off to draw inside. Well, two in fact. Firstly, I've got to bring the typewriter to the calendar because it's my favourite illustration. It's just come out as a keyring and a wooden keyring and a sticker, and I've just tweaked the colours so that they match the colour scheme for the calendar, but I've kept the same green and yellow, and then yellow, pink and purple flowers. It's just slightly different shades. And then this is the one that I did yesterday and finished off. So it says, hold on to things that are good for you and learn to let go of the rest. So I don't know if you can tell, but this is actually me. I was really struggling to find a pose for reference, so I got my husband to take a picture of me doing the pose. Then I ended up drawing it from me and just thought, you can't plagiarise your own body, can you? And then, so there's one balloon that I'm holding on to that says hope, and then the bunch of balloons that I've let go of say regret, grudges, indecision, fear, doubt, the past, anger, people pleasing and self-criticism. So I'm letting go of all of those. So I'm really pleased that they've all got kind of different feels, different concepts, different types of quotes, and I just can't wait to see it in person. Once I've finished the illustrations, the only thing I'll have left to do is to finish doing the individual calendar pages to match the illustrations, which will take probably an hour on Monday morning. So that's my plan. Enough waffling. Let's get to drawing. I opened my Adobe Creative Cloud app on my computer. When I opened it, it said, do I want to try Adobe Firefly? And I was like, what is this? So I opened it up and basically it generates AI art for you, and you put in a prompt of what you want and it will generate some things. And so I thought, okay, why don't I do that to get some concept ideas for layouts for the other two images, and then kind of use it to inspire what I am going to create just as a starting point. So I wanted to show you what it came up with. So I've just put in a prompt of a desk flat lay featuring cute stationery items, make it simple and impactful, and make the main focal point an open notebook. And this is what it's come up with. And obviously I want something a bit less cluttered than that. This isn't my art style. I want to make it mine, but it has given me some inspiration for the types of items, what they might look like from certain angles, and I think I'm going to download a few and just use them as, concepts and inspiration, like a little mood board for myself. So I'll show you how I get on with that one, but I just thought it was interesting to share, as I'd not seen it on there before. I forgot where I was looking then. I am in two minds about this live stream with the calendar. I really want to get the calendar all finalised. Hi Zoe. And ready to just go tomorrow to the manufacturer. It's got to get printed, so I've got to send it off. I'm in two minds about this one. This is one I was umming and ahhing about anyway, because it's a lot simpler than the rest. Like if I zoom back out so you can see all 12, some of them are quite detailed, like the blossom one is quite detailed. The fireflies has got quite a lot going on. But this one is the most simple, and the reason I kept it the most simple is because it's the only one where one of the illustrations contains part of the quote. So I didn't want to have too much going on around it, and for people just to read it, don't hit on your dreams and miss out the snooze. But I just don't know if it's as impactful compared to the others, and whether I should tweak it to make it a little bit more of a scene. We'll pop it on a table. So how's everyone's week been? That's something I would love to know. Love to know how your week has been. Mine's been so busy. Saw Amy this morning. This is twice in one day because I went to the Boston Planner Meet in Wolverhampton and did some planning and had a chat, which was lovely. So it's been a nice day today. Planning, chatting, drawing. Yeah, it's been nice. Something like that. We could sort of have it so it was like kind of folded off the table.
Amy, I've just read your comment. This person's face and eyes are way smaller than their hand. This is what I mean. His hand is like some creepy hand from space that's giant. Yeah, I'm probably gonna make the hand smaller and extend the arm because it's a ridiculously big hand. I think I illustrate in such a messy, scrappy way. But I don't really care because it works for me and I just like the scrappy little process that I've developed. But I do think other people who illustrate probably think, what on earth is she doing? And she's doing this live. But I don't really care because it works for me. Sleep mask is there, and then maybe a lamp of sorts. What about one of those moon lamps? Ooh. Hello, Catherine. I'm glad you could join. Right, okay. I think I've got one that's sort of like what I want to do. And it looks like this. So I'm hoping I can kind of make it glow from behind like I did with the fireflies, like give it a bit of a glowy effect. Oh, I'm really glad that people are liking it because I, for the last 5 minutes, have gone through such a panic about a moon that I never thought would happen in my life. I think actually this is going to turn out really cute. That is the one. Right. I'm quite pleased with myself. I don't know if you can tell. And then obviously with all of these illustrations, you'll get the matching digital ones each month that you can use on your phone and iPad and stuff, so you can make everything match, which I personally am really looking forward to. I think it'll be really lovely to like change it up each month and change the one on the wall, and yeah, I'm really looking forward to that. Thank you so much for helping me turn it into something better than it was originally. I think it's going to be much more impactful once I've finished it and coloured it and get the quote on there properly in the right direction. And yeah, I'm really excited to finish it off tonight and show you tomorrow. So thank you so much.
So that was, in a snapshot, my crazy week. Please excuse the fingerless gloves, it's very cold in here today. I really enjoyed taking you with me on a really busy week. I never normally film vlogs like that where I literally take you with me on the majority of things that I'm doing, and it was really actually quite fun to edit and look back at it and see all the different things I'd done and all the places I'd been just in that one week. From updating my displays in new shops, sending off stock to pop-up shops, working on my rebrand, illustrating for my wall calendar, just loads, just so much stuff. And so I really hope you've enjoyed seeing what sometimes a week in the life looks like. I want to show you just before I go how that final calendar page turned out. So I'm going to pop an image up on the screen now. So this is how it turned out once I'd finished working on the colours, and I added all these little stars to the lamp and had the light glowing through, and I changed up the fonts so that they match my new brand fonts, and I just really love how it turned out, and I think it was such a good move to go back to it and to work on it and develop it, and it, yeah, put it as part of a scene. It turned out so much better than it did originally, and just a big thank you to my patrons that were on the live stream for all your comments and feedback as I was designing it. It's really fun to do that live and really useful to see what people are liking and not liking, and sometimes people see things in a way you don't, and it allows me to get that real-time feedback of what you actually want to see, and for you it's nice to see part of the process of me designing things live and have your say and be a part of those final designs when they come out. So I have ordered the calendars, so in the next vlog you will be able to see the finished thing and how it looks, and I'll be getting the calendars out to those of you that have pre-ordered. Another thing I did in this video was prepare all the stickers for my big sticker sale. That is now live. Thank you to everyone who has placed orders over the weekend. There are still stickers available. It's 10 stickers for £5, and you can mix and match between individual stickers and sticker sheets. So I will leave a link in the description to my website, and you can hop over and get some bargain stickers. If you did enjoy the video, please like it and subscribe if you're not a subscriber already, and leave me a comment and let me know that you watched to the end of the vlog. I'm always
curious who watches to the end and what people enjoy, as opposed to watching it for a little bit and then maybe getting distracted and going on to other things, which is equally valid. I hope you enjoyed. Take care, everyone, and I will see you very, very soon. Bye!